Is your manifestation taking too long? What are you manifesting? Is it your specific person? Is it a loving relationship? Is it a career? Is it money? What are you after? What is your true desire? And do you feel like it's taking too long? Do you feel like nothing's happened for the longest time? You've been on this journey, days, weeks, months, years for some of you. Are you doing something wrong? Should we use time as an indicator? I'm going to go into it in this video, and I'm also going to share a voice note that my client shared with me, her recent success with her specific person. She very graciously allowed me to share it with you guys here. This was one of her biggest blockers and resistances to achieving her goal, and we're going to talk about it in this video. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm Athena Raven. I'm a mental health and manifestation life coach, here to empower and inspire you on your manifestation journey by making this simple and easy to understand and digest. So please do like and subscribe to the content, just to help boost this channel to grow, so that we can reach a wider audience, help more people, let them join our lovely community that we have here. And I love and appreciate all of you for being here. So thank you so, so much. So with regards to this, particularly on TikTok, this is what happened with my client. I think she was more active on TikTok, but it is the same for YouTube as well, that there is a lot of clickbait out there. And of course, we're going to get sucked into it. Those of us manifesting specific people back into our lives for whatever reason it might be, or those of you on a time crunch for money, you've incurred a load of debts, you've got bills coming in, you're in that panic mode, that frenzy. I've got a deadline and I need to do this, and I'm going to imagine that this has happened to get my SP back. I'm going to imagine my end. It's still not happened yet, and time is ticking and it's taking too long. So I must be doing something wrong, because this video told me I can manifest a text in 30 minutes. And this coach told me if it's taken longer than 21 days, then I'm doing it incorrectly. Honestly, my client had come to me telling me about this stuff. She had other coaches who had told her she was doing it wrong, who had blamed her for the longest time because she was months into her journey with absolutely no movement in the 3D, no movement that she could detect in the 3D, I should say. And of course, they just quickly went to the assumption that she was doing it wrong. And then, of course, she adopted that belief that she was doing it wrong based on the time it was taking for it to unfold, and inadvertently delaying her manifestation, or just derailing herself, making herself feel bad, and making this journey much more painful than it needed to be. So that's why I thought it was important to make this video, to share it with you guys, because the time that it takes, the duration of time, this apparent delay that we experience in our 3D is by no means an indicator of whether or not you are manifesting correctly and efficiently. It isn't. Sometimes, yes, we can get in the way of our manifestations. We can derail ourselves. And if we're not occupying the correct state of mind, the correct state of being in relation to our desire, then of course, you're not going to manifest that desire. You're going to see more of the same. You're going to encounter more hot and cold behavior, or no movement, or things seemingly going in the opposite direction for you. But that's all to do with the state of being that you occupy. As soon as you can occupy the state of being of, it is done, I've experienced of it, it's happened. In my imagination, in my consciousness, it's happened. I'm aware of being this now. I've become one with my desire, in which case I just have to accept that everything is unfolding perfectly for me right now. And so I worked with her, and we just had the one session, mind you, because everything else she had accepted. And when I analyzed her language, when I discussed with her what she had been doing, when I worked with her to try and streamline things, to drop a lot of these techniques, to change her mindset as she was doing this work, as she was living her life, everything changed for her. And after that first session, I saw her demeanor change. I saw her energy shift. And I said to her from that moment, it's done. It's done. I'm not worried about you. It's done. It's taken care of. Because I could see, I knew that she was going to be a success, and she could feel it too. And she carried on her days, just living her life, enjoying it, because she's got a few, she calls more specific people. She's got a few specific people that she's been dating and just carrying on with. But she had this one person, the main specific person, the object of her desires and affection. But in the meantime, she's living her best life. She's suddenly detached from time, and bam, just like that, within a couple of weeks, SP, She's experiencing a version of him that she has never experienced before. And I know that is the dream for all of us. But please don't question yourselves. Even though you see this clickbait, even though you're being told by other coaches, well, you're doing it wrong. You must have loads of resistances and blockers and all the rest of it because it should manifest in 3 days. It should manifest in 21 days. Well, I'd like to see that. How many of them have manifested specific people on a regular basis for one reason or another? Can they say that, yes, every time they did it within 21 days? I guarantee you that they wouldn't be able to do that. I've done this enough times and manifested enough specific people for various things, not all for relationships. But some have conformed within days. Some have conformed within weeks. Some have taken years. I'm not doing it differently. I know I'm doing it right. I've been doing this the last 20 years. But it's just how the bridge unfolds. But it always, always comes in at the perfect time. And I know many of you are going to worry because you're in heartbreak at the moment. And that's why I focus a lot on the specific person manifestation. I feel that my experience of it, plus my background in mental health, allows me to assist people in nurturing this, because you've got to give yourself time to grieve and understand that this can be a painful process, especially if it's an ex that you've broken up with, you've had a tumultuous past, you've had a really bad breakup. And of course, you want them back as soon as possible. You don't want to feel like you're waiting. But remember, this is not the point of manifestation. You're not waiting for anything. That's the old mindset. What are we waiting for? This is the expression. This is the aftermath. This is the dead, done manifestation. The creative power, the creative source is your imagination, is your state of consciousness. So you've experienced it. So it's already happened. So we're not waiting for anything here. And of course, with that mindset, you do remove the lack, the how long it's taking, the delays, all the rest of it. Now, of course, yes, if we're not occupying the right state, if we've not made this state natural to us and dwelt and become the person who has this desire and accepted and walked in faith of that, yes, we can delay things and derail things. But for the most part, if you're just using time as an indicator, if you know that your inner talking is in alignment with your end goal, if you know you're walking in the faith of it, if you've accepted that it's done, if you've let go of the lack of it, you almost feel like you don't want it anymore, you're living your life, you're planting other seeds, then guess what? You're doing it all right. You're doing it all right. And it will come at the perfect time. I promise you, it always does. Even when my clients come into me in desperation in the beginning, by the middle or through their journey, as they've shifted states, they really don't notice the time so much. And if those of you who are on the journey as well here, share your experiences too, so people can see. Because I ask my clients, particularly ones who have success or are well on the road to success, I ask them if they're worried about time. Did they feel like they were waiting? Every single time they're just like, no, didn't feel like I wasn't waiting for anything. I was just living my life. They all say that. And I'm just trying to get this across to you guys. So I'm going to play this voice note because I thought it was quite uplifting, and it's probably nice to hear from someone's voice. She emailed me another success story before. I'm just, like I said, struggling to keep up with the success stories. But let me share this with you guys, and hopefully it will come out loud enough.
Hi, Athena. I have a new success story for you. I am back in contact with my SP. It was his birthday the other day, so I just sent him a message saying happy birthday, and he was so happy to hear from me. He was like, thank you, where are you? Are you in the country? Are you overseas? What have you been doing? How have you been? Etc. And, we just started texting from there, and he asked me if he could see me in December. And when he asked me, my schedule was pretty packed, so I told him maybe in January. I actually could have said yes, but that meant I had to reschedule everything, and I didn't want to do that. So he was so upset when I told him I couldn't see him in December. But before, I would have rescheduled everything, but now this time he is rescheduling everything for me so he can see me at the earliest time I have available in January. And that this change is huge for me, really, really huge. So it's been maybe just over 2 weeks since I had one-on-one coaching with you. And my SP and I haven't been in contact. We hadn't been in contact for good 7 months. So we're going out in January, and meanwhile next week I have a date with my SP2, and my SP3 is being really sweet, and my SP4 is asking me what I would like for Christmas. And I'm always going back to our conversation about my car, how it is always done, like it's already done, how everything comes at an appointed hour, so I don't have to worry about it. And it's just amazing because I'm getting all these movements like all at once without like hammering myself with self-concept affirmations or anything like that. I'm just resting in the knowing that it's already done. Yeah, I actually can't wait to see him because he sounds like a totally new, different guy when he's texting me. And I swear I could not have had these success stories without you. And yeah, I'm so grateful. And I will keep you updated. And I know you're so busy with doing private sessions and everything, but happy holidays to you. And thanks again.
Oh, love that. So thank you so much, hon, if you are watching this, for allowing me to share that. But I just thought it was important to share it with you guys because as soon as we built her faith, as soon as I broke down what she had been doing and proved to her that everything that she was doing was correct, as soon as I instilled that into her, she was able to shift. And suddenly SP1, SP2, SP3, they're all coming in, conforming, wanting to take her out. But her main SP comes in now after just a couple of weeks, after 7 months of radio silence, where she gets this compulsion. She wasn't even in lack. She wasn't reaching out to him expecting anything. A lot of the times we get confused. Oh, SP is going to be the only one who's going to be moved to react. Well, for her, her bridge of instance was that it's his birthday. I'll just wish him happy birthday. But she was living her best life. She wasn't waiting for it. She wasn't caring. Had he responded? Had he not responded? She was just getting on with things. And I can see there's a big difference in attitude. Notice as well how in her confidence, in her knowing and acceptance of her end result, in her knowing and acceptance that she is the operant power, notice how she shifted to, well, I'm not chasing, I'm not in lack. I'm not going to rearrange my entire schedule just to cater for him. Let him do that for me. He's naturally arranging things to see her. He's the one who's disappointed. He's the one encouraging that they meet up. She wasn't pushing for any of that, which again shows that her inspired action to reach out first was not coming from a place of lack, of needing, of wanting, of manipulating. I'm impatient. I can't wait. Does that make sense? You can see the sort of difference in mindset. It's our actions and reactions to life that tell us a lot about the state that we occupy. But I really hope that this helped you guys out to see that please don't question yourselves just because it's taking a bit of time. Like I say, I've had manifestations that have taken a while. Neville Goddard's brother took 2 years to manifest the family business. He had someone who had come to one of his lectures who had said that she manifested a free trip to Egypt. That, I believe, took 5 or 7 years, something like that, a substantial amount of time to come in. And yet Neville never stated, oh, it's taking you too long, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it this, that, and the other. The bridge is always perfect, as is the timing of your manifestation being reflected in your 3D reality. It is always perfect. As much as we're in pain at the moment, we're in a state of impatience because we believe we are waiting for this to happen, because we are lacking, because we believe that our desire is separate to us. But once we shift that mindset, all of this melts away. Okay, so I really hope that you found this useful. I'm sending you guys so much love because I do understand how painful this is. And trust me, you're not going to be stuck in a state of pain, lack, longing all the time. You are going to get your results, some of you faster than others for whatever reason. But don't make the assumption you're doing it wrong. You're born to do this. Loads of love to you guys.